I was astonished when I discovered that my parents had used my credit card without my permission to bank manager an extravagant $277,710 European tour as a graduation gift for my sister, Mia. I'm Ellie, a 26-year-old man who has been financially independent since the age of 20, thanks to a career in bank manager. My sister, Mia, who's 24 and just earned her degree in media, has always been the family favorite, often receiving more support and gifts from our parents. Growing up, I learned early to fend for myself, earning scholarships and saving diligently, while Mia received the best of everything: new clothes, the latest tech, and freedom from household responsibilities. Despite the overt favoritism, I focused on my personal ambitions, though it was challenging not to feel sidelined. The situation reached a breaking point when my mother excitedly informed me that they had booked a lavish month-long European tour for Maya, using my credit card to take advantage of the points for upgrades. She casually mentioned they'd pay me back eventually. Shocked and betrayed, I confronted them, stressing the legality and immensity of their actions. But my concerns were dismissed as overdramatic. Faced with their nonchalance and the massive potential impact on my financial stability, I reported the transaction as fraud, leading to a significant family fallout and my decision to cease contact. This step was not taken lightly, but it became necessary to protect my well-being and financial future from further disregard. I needed my credit limit for potential emergencies, and the violation of trust was immense, but my mother wasn't willing to see my perspective. "You've always been so selfish," she accused, her voice icy. "Can't you just be happy for your sister? This is her big moment, and you're trying to ruin it with your penny-pinching ways." I was astounded. There I was, being labeled selfish for reacting to an unauthorized $277,710 charge on my credit card. The call ended with me feeling a whirlwind of emotions: anger, hurt, and disbelief. Over the following days, I sought understanding from my dad, hoping he might offer a more reasonable viewpoint. Unfortunately, he mirrored my mother's thoughts, suggesting I was overreacting and should be more supportive of Mia. Mia herself seemed completely unaware of the tension. When I approached her, she was overjoyed about the trip and thanked me for contributing to her graduation gift as if it were a voluntary gesture. It felt surreal. Was I the unreasonable one in this situation? Driven by a mix of frustration and a need for resolution, I contacted the credit card company to dispute the charges. To my horror, I learned that since the card details were shared with my parents for emergencies, the company didn't consider it fraud. Now, I was stuck with a $277,710 bill, a maxed-out credit card, and a family who thought I was selfish for not wanting to bank manager my sister's lavish vacation. I felt utterly betrayed by the very people who were supposed to love and support me. I was torn about how to proceed. Part of me wanted to cancel the trip to make a stand, but I knew that would explode into a massive family rift. Another part of me considered just paying off the debt to avoid further drama, but the principle of the matter and the potential for setting a precedent for future financial abuse gnawed at me. Am I overreacting? Should I just absorb the cost of my sister's vacation, or should I stand my ground, even at the risk of damaging my family relationships? I felt lost and desperately needed guidance. Thank you to everyone who offered supportive comments and advice on my previous post. Your insights helped me realize that my feelings of violation and anger were justified. Motivated by your encouragement, I took further action. I called the credit card company again, this time to escalate the issue. I explained the situation in detail, clarifying that while my parents had access to my card for emergencies, I had never authorized this particular use. After some discussion, they agreed to investigate the charges as potential fraud. Next, I organized a family Zoom call, hoping to address the issue directly and allow my family a chance to rectify the situation. The call was intense. I started by calmly explaining the implications of their actions, the legal issues, the breach of trust, and the financial strain they'd put on me. I informed them that I had reported the charges as fraudulent and insisted they cancel the trip immediately. Their reaction was disappointing but not surprising. They were indignant, accusing me of being overdramatic and trying to spoil Mia's graduation celebration. My mother even went as far as to claim I was ruining what should be a joyous time. The situation remains unresolved, and I'm considering my next steps carefully, weighing the heavy impact on our family dynamics. After my parents justified their use of my credit card for a lavish $277,710 graduation trip for my sister by reminding me of how they raised and provided for me, I felt a deep sense of frustration. You chose to be parents, and providing for us was your responsibility. It doesn't justify committing credit card fraud in my name, I responded calmly. Throughout this conversation, Mia had remained silent, but suddenly she broke down, accusing me of ruining her special gift and claiming I had always been jealous of her. Her words hurt, but they also solidified my determination to enforce boundaries. Mia, I'm genuinely happy for you and proud of your achievements, I assured her, but this trip was charged to my account without my permission. It's not a gift from me, and it's not acceptable. My father then tried to downplay the seriousness of their actions, asserting that because they had emergency access to my card, they thought it would be okay just this once. I was astounded by his dismissal of the significant amount. Dad, $277,710 is a substantial amount, and this was certainly not an emergency. You can't make financial decisions with my resources without asking me first. The call ended with emotions running high. My parents were indignant. Mia was in tears, and I was left feeling drained yet resolute. Despite my clear stance, they refused to cancel the trip, continuing to insist I was overreacting and promising repayment soon. In the aftermath, I sought legal advice from a friend who confirmed that my parents' actions were indeed illegal and that I had grounds for legal action. I also filed a police report about the unauthorized use of my credit card. The officer was empathetic and detailed in taking down information, though he cautioned that pressing charges could deeply fracture my family relations, but affirmed my right to protect my interests. Now, I find myself in a quandary. On one hand, I love my family, and the idea of taking legal action against them is distressing. On the other, their disregard for my autonomy and financial security is deeply troubling, and I fear that without a firm stance, such behavior could recur. For the moment, I have decided to wait for the outcome of the credit card company's investigation and have taken preventive measures by freezing my credit to block any further unauthorized use. This ordeal has been a painful but illuminating experience, teaching me the importance of establishing and maintaining strong personal boundaries. I've always played the role of the peacekeeper, often at my own expense, but I now recognize the need to advocate for myself. Although it's uncomfortable and daunting, this newfound assertiveness is also empowering. I'm finally standing up for myself and declaring that such violations of my trust are unequivocally unacceptable. Thank you again for all your support and advice. I will continue to update as the situation with the credit card investigation progresses, or if there are further developments with my family. Your support has been invaluable in helping me navigate this challenging time. It's been a few weeks since my last update, and there's been quite a lot happening. I want to start by expressing my sincere gratitude for all the support and advice I've received. Your encouragement has been a real source of strength for me during this tough time. Here's the good news first. The credit card company's investigation ended in my favor. They confirmed that the charges were unauthorized and have reversed the $277,710 that was wrongfully charged to my account. It's an enormous relief to have that financial weight lifted off my shoulders. However, things took a turn for the worse when my parents and Mia found out that the trip had been canceled because of the credit card chargeback. The reaction was intense. My phone was flooded with angry calls and texts. My mom left a particularly hurtful voicemail, calling me a selfish and ungrateful son, and accusing me of ruining Mia's graduation trip. Mia took to social media, posting a tearful video about how her cruel brother had destroyed her dream trip. This stirred up quite a buzz among our mutual friends and extended family, many of whom began questioning why I was being so harsh on my little sister. Seeing how out of control the situation was becoming, I decided it was crucial to clarify what had really happened. I wrote a detailed, calm post explaining that my credit card had been used without my permission, and that I had tried to resolve things with my family, before taking action with the credit card company. The response to my post was mixed. Some people were supportive, expressing shock at my parents' behavior, while others felt that I should have just let Mia have the trip, even if it meant accepting the fraud. It was eye-opening to see how many people thought it was acceptable to overlook fraud if it benefited family. A few days later, I got an unexpected call from my aunt, my mom's sister. She expressed sympathy for my situation and shared some family history I hadn't known before. Apparently, my mom has a history of financial irresponsibility and has taken advantage of family members before. My aunt encouraged me to stay strong and offered her support. This conversation made me realize that the problem was much deeper than just this one incident. It was part of a long-standing pattern of behavior that had been overlooked for years. I knew I had to set firm boundaries, not just for my own well-being, but to break this cycle of financial abuse. So, I made a difficult decision. I told my parents that I needed to go no contact with them for the foreseeable future. I explained that I needed time to process everything and that I couldn't trust them at the moment. I also told Mia that while I loved her and was proud of her achievements, I needed some space from her as well. Their reactions were predictably negative. My parents accused me of tearing the family apart, and Mia cried, saying I was punishing her for something she hadn't done. It was painful, but I remained firm in my decision. Amid all this family turmoil, I've been focusing on protecting myself from future financial abuse. I've changed all my passwords, closed the credit card account that my parents had access to, and opened a new account at a different bank. I've also started seeing a therapist to help me work through my feelings and to establish healthier boundaries. Despite everything, there's been an unexpected positive outcome from this ordeal. I've learned to value and protect my own well-being more than ever before. The whole situation has had some unexpected silver linings. For one, it's brought me closer to my aunt and a couple of cousins who reached out to offer their support. It's reassuring to know that not everyone in my family agrees with my parents' actions. Regarding Mia's graduation trip, I've heard through family channels that my parents are still considering sending her somewhere special. Part of me feels a pang of guilt about her missing out on the Europe trip. But I keep reminding myself that it wasn't my responsibility to provide that for her. I'm still grappling with feelings of guilt and doubt. There are moments when I question whether I did the right thing and whether I was too harsh. However, whenever I recall the sense of violation I felt when I discovered what had happened, I remind myself that standing up for myself was the right choice. This experience has been a tough lesson, but it's also taught me a lot about self-respect and setting boundaries. I'm learning that it's okay to say no, even to family, and that love shouldn't come with a price tag. Thank you all again for your continued support. I'll keep you updated on any significant developments, but for now, I'm focusing on healing and moving forward. It's been about 1 month since my last update, and I wanted to share some new developments with you. Your ongoing support and advice have been a huge help during this difficult time. First, let me address the legal situation. After a lot of thought and consultation with my lawyer, I decided not to press charges against my parents. This was a tough decision, and I know many of you had suggested taking legal action. However, my lawyer pointed out that since the credit card company had already reversed the charges, pursuing a criminal case would be complicated and potentially expensive with no guarantee of success. Instead, we've sent a formal cease and desist letter to my parents, warning them that any future misuse of my financial information will result in immediate legal action. As for the family situation, the no-contact period with my parents and Mia has been both challenging and revealing. It has given me time to reflect on our family dynamics and focus on myself. I've been regularly attending therapy, which has been incredibly helpful in processing my emotions and learning to set healthier boundaries. About a month into this no-contact period, I received an unexpected email from Mia. Unlike her previous emotional outbursts, this email was surprisingly mature. She admitted that she had been doing a lot of thinking and recognized how wrong our parents' actions were. Mia apologized for her initial reaction and for not standing up for me. She confessed that she had always been aware of the favoritism, but had been too scared and comfortable to confront it. I was cautiously optimistic about Mia's email and decided to proceed with caution. We've had a few phone conversations since, and it seems she is genuinely trying to understand my perspective. Mia has also shared some of her own experiences with our parents' financial irresponsibility, which she had previously kept to herself. It appears that the canceled Europe trip was a wake-up call for her as well. As for my parents, they have been less willing to accept responsibility for their actions. My parents have tried several times to reach out to me. Their attempts have ranged from angry voicemails to guilt-inducing emails. One day, my mom unexpectedly showed up at my apartment, causing a scene in the hallway. It was tough, but I stood my ground and did not engage. This was hard but necessary for my well-being. The reaction from my extended family has been mixed. Some relatives, especially my aunt who reached out initially, have been incredibly supportive. She's become not just an ally, but a major source of strength for me. However, other family members continue to pressure me to reconcile with my parents, using the "but they're your family" argument. I found it necessary to distance myself from these relatives to maintain my peace of mind. On a brighter note, stepping back from my family's drama has allowed me to focus more on my own life and goals. I've picked up a new hobby, photography, and I've been spending more time with friends who respect my boundaries. Financially, I've been making some proactive changes as well. I've increased my contributions to my retirement accounts and have started building a more robust emergency fund. This whole experience has underscored the importance of financial independence and security for me. A particularly rewarding moment happened last week. I received a promotion at work, which came with a significant pay raise. In the past, I might have felt obligated to share this news and the financial benefits with my family. This time, however, I celebrated quietly with a few close friends, feeling proud of my achievements without any guilt or pressure to share. Regarding Mia's graduation trip, I heard from my aunt that our parents eventually sent her on a 3-week tour of California. From what I've heard, Mia enjoyed it. Looking forward, I remain cautiously optimistic. I've decided to extend the no-contact period with my parents for at least another 5 months. I need more time to heal and to see if they can respect my boundaries. With Mia, I'm open to slowly rebuilding our relationship, but I am proceeding with caution and maintaining clear boundaries. This experience has taught me a lot about setting limits, standing up for myself, and the true meaning of family. I've realized that family isn't just about blood relations, it's about mutual respect, support, and love. The friends and relatives who have stood by me through this ordeal have shown me what real family looks like. I've also learned a valuable lesson about financial independence. I've always been cautious with money, but this situation has pushed me to be even more vigilant. I've set up additional security measures on all my accounts and have become more assertive in protecting my financial information, even from family members. There have been moments of doubt and sadness, especially during family events that I've missed due to the no-contact policy. Mother's Day was particularly tough. However, I remind myself that this separation is necessary for my mental health and personal growth. One unexpected outcome of this situation is that I've become a resource for friends dealing with their own family financial issues. Several people have reached out to me for advice on setting boundaries and dealing with financially irresponsible family members. It feels good to be able to offer support and advice based on my own experiences. It's been some time since my last new, and I've had the chance to help others navigate situations similar to mine, which has been incredibly rewarding. Regarding my parents' financial situation, I've learned from my aunt that they're facing some challenges. They had planned to use my credit for more than just Mia's trip, which has led to some tension between them. My dad is upset with my mom for taking things too far with the credit card fraud. While I feel a twinge of guilt knowing they are struggling, I constantly remind myself that their financial problems are not my burden to bear. Mia has offered some insights into how our parents are processing everything. She mentioned that they don't fully grasp why I reacted so strongly to their actions. They view what they did as a normal part of family life and can't understand why I'm making a big deal out of it. This lack of understanding is frustrating, but it also confirms that distancing myself was the right decision. Reflecting on my childhood and early adulthood, I've recognized patterns of financial and emotional manipulation that I had once considered normal. It's been a painful realization, but also a liberating one, as I learn to trust my own feelings and experiences without seeking my parents' approval. On a personal note, I've started dating again. After holding back due to all the family drama, I recently met someone who is incredibly understanding and respectful of my situation. It's still early, but it feels great to be forming a connection with someone who respects my boundaries and values. I'm also considering making some significant changes in my life. I've always wanted to pursue a master's degree, but I postponed it partly because I was worried about how it would affect my ability to support my family financially. Now, I'm seriously looking into programs and thinking about taking the plunge. It feels empowering to make decisions based on what's best for me and my future. As I write this, I realize how much has changed in just a few months. The initial shock and anger have faded, replaced by a sense of calm determination. I'm no longer just reacting to my family's actions. I'm proactively shaping the life I want for myself. To those of you who might be dealing with similar family issues, I want to say, it gets better. Setting boundaries is tough and there may be backlash, but stay strong. You have the right to protect yourself, your bank manager, and your mental health. Thank you all again for your support throughout this journey. Your advice and encouragement have been a lifeline. I'm not sure what the future holds for my relationship with my parents and sister, but I am confident that I'll be okay. I'm stronger now, more sure of myself, and ready to face whatever comes next. I'll update again if there are any significant developments. But for now, I'm focused on moving forward and building the life I want, surrounded by people who respect and support me. Here's to new beginnings and hard-earned wisdom. I'm excited to share the latest developments with all of you who have been such a crucial support throughout this journey. First, I have some big news. I've been accepted into a master's program in financial technology, located about 5 hours away from where I currently live. It's a 1-year program that aligns perfectly with my career aspirations. I start this fall and I'm feeling a mix of excitement and nerves about beginning this new chapter. Deciding to pursue this degree was no small feat. It meant leaving my current job, relocating to a new city, and taking on student loans. But more importantly, it signified a significant investment in myself and my future, something I had often put on hold to consider the impacts on my family. Now, I'm making choices based on what's best for me, which feels incredibly freeing. Regarding my family, the situation has taken some unexpected turns. The no-contact period with my parents ended 3 months ago, and we agreed to try a family therapy session facilitated by a professional therapist. It was a tense start. My parents initially came in defensive, maintaining that they hadn't done anything wrong. However, as the session went on, we delved into some deep-seated issues. It came to light that my dad had lost a significant amount of money in a bad investment, a fact he had kept hidden from everyone, including my mom. This financial strain was why they saw my credit card as a means to keep up appearances. The revelation brought a lot of emotions to the surface. My mom felt betrayed by the secrecy, and my dad was deeply ashamed of his financial missteps. For the first time, they seemed to grasp the full weight of their actions towards me. Though their actions are inexcusable, understanding their desperation helped me see the broader context of their decisions. With the therapist's guidance, we managed to address some of these deep-seated issues. By the end of it, I received genuine apologies from both of my parents. We've decided to continue with monthly family therapy sessions. While the path to healing is long and complex, these steps are crucial in rebuilding trust and understanding within our family. I'm cautiously optimistic about the progress we can make together. Rebuilding relationships and setting boundaries has been a slow process, but I'm cautiously optimistic about the progress I'm making with my family, particularly with my sister Mia. She's really come into her own lately, securing a full-time job and moving into her own apartment. We've been talking more regularly, and for the first time, I feel like I'm getting to know her as an adult. She's even reached out for advice on budgeting and saving, which marks a significant milestone in our evolving relationship. On the personal side, things have been going wonderfully with Sarah, the woman I mentioned previously. Our relationship has deepened into something truly special. She's been incredibly supportive of my decision to go back to school, despite the fact that it means we'll be in a long-distance relationship for a while. Her own experiences with setting boundaries with family have made her an invaluable source of support and understanding. Financially, I'm in a strong position. The promotion I received earlier has helped me save a substantial amount for my upcoming move and to offset some of the costs of grad school. I've also grown much more vigilant about protecting my financial information. Recently, I had to turn down a distant relative who tried to guilt me into co-signing a loan. It wasn't easy, but standing my ground reinforced my commitment to maintaining strong personal boundaries. As I prepare for this new chapter in my life, I've been reflecting on how much has changed since receiving that initial shocking phone call from my mom about the credit card charges. The pain and anger I felt back then have mostly subsided, replaced by a sense of empowerment and self-assurance I never knew I possessed. This experience has taught me so much about the importance of setting and maintaining boundaries, even especially with family. I've learned that it's okay to prioritize my own well-being and future, and that true family, whether related by blood or chosen, supports your growth and respects your boundaries. To everyone who's followed my story and offered support and advice along the way, thank you. Your words have been a source of strength and clarity during some very challenging times. For those who might be experiencing similar struggles with family, know that it is possible to emerge from these challenges stronger and wiser. As I pack up my apartment and gear up for this new adventure, I feel a sense of excitement and possibility that I haven't felt in years. I'm proud of how far I've come and I'm eager to see what the future holds.